Ready? I call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, April 23rd, 2026, 7 p.m. regular meeting and on Zoom. I ask for a moment of silent reflection. Please stand. Councilwoman Dhariwal.
Remembering the victims and the families affected 1 year ago on the Pahalgam attack in Jammu and Kashmir, which took 26 innocent lives. May peace prevail.
Councilman Pfeffer, if you'd lead us in the pledge.
Sure. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification via January 9th, 2026 and January 16th, 2026 sunshine notice containing the location, date, and time and access information to the town news and the record, and by posting of same on the municipal bulletin board and the borough website and filing notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Sure. Councilwoman Montesano Cohen is absent with prior notice. Council President Gonzalez.
Here.
Councilwoman Malalari.
Here.
Councilman Glass is absent with prior notice. Councilwoman Dhariwal.
Here.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Here.
Mayor Papaleo.
Here. Could I have a motion and second to approve the minutes of the mayor and council regular meeting of March 12th and March 16th of the year 2026?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, any abstentions? Very good. Administrators report, we're going to, do you want to do that now or do you want to wait?
I'll wait today.
Good. Okay, great. So we have a very exciting experience. We are going to be promoting 3 of our officers. And before we do that, we actually have to record this as resolution. So, and I'm going to do these as a group because they're going to be sworn in as a group. So could I have resolution 26-128-129 and -130, which are the authorize the promotion of Michael McGinty to the position of police captain. Authorize the promotion of Mark Abati to the position of police lieutenant. Authorize the promotion of Edward Blue to the position of police sergeant. Could I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, excellent. If I could call those 3 officers forward. With the chief. Chief, do you want to do the swearing in separately or do you want to do that together? We can do it either way, chief. It's your call. Do you want all 3 to come up and witness each other's, or do you want us to go in order of Sergeant Blue to the captain or the captain to?
Captain down. Yeah.
All right. That's right. So you're going to be in the center and you're going to raise your right hand so you can feel his left side, and you can stand right here and it's more me. Okay, raise your right hand and face the public. Very good. An exciting moment. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael McGinty,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
for the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
will bear faith and
to the same
allegiance
and to the government
to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the.
I state your name.
I, Michael McGinty,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
just
all the duties
duty
as captain
as captain
of the River Edge Police Department
of the River Edge Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
You would. Would you like to say a few words?
I'll say it at the
Today?
end.
Would you like to say a few words?
No, not at this time.
Lieutenant Abate.
Wait, what's that?
Yeah.
Same thing, we've been staying here. Hi, Antonio, nice to meet you. Are you please swear in the and you only say swear or affirm? Please repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Mark Abadi,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I
and that I
will bear true faith and allegiance
will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the government
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in the state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I state your name,
I, Mark Abadi,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
as a lieutenant
as a lieutenant
of the River Edge Police Department
of the River Edge Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me.
Later.
I'll say a couple.
Okay,
Mayor, council, my coworkers, chief, thank you for your trust. I appreciate moving up to the next level where I will be able to utilize my experience and knowledge to hopefully move us forward. And I look forward to working with the patrol division. I look forward to working with the chief, to my family. Thank you. 28 years into my 29th. It's been a long road and you've seen the whole thing, so you know what it took to get here. And to the residents, thank you for your support. Thank you for everybody that showed up today, my retired brothers that are out here that showed up. I appreciate that very much. And let's move this place forward. Thank you.
Sergeant Edward Bloom, please come forward. Come on over here. We're here. You're here. Now, here. All right, please repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Edward Blue,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I
that I
will bear true faith
will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the government
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I state your name,
I, Edward Blue,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
as sergeant
as sergeant
of the River Edge Police Force
of the River Edge Police Force
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
She stole the show. All right, Chief, would you like to say a few words? Excellent.
Good. Blue. Got me in the finger. Good stuff. We're good. So just a few things. I'd like to start by thanking all the officers on the police department. This has been a process that, in our minds, we started last July when we had a vacancy. It's some bumps in the road that we ironed out, along the way to get here. And during that time frame, I think what's most important is to know that their dedication and, their work ethic kept them working through all of it, delivering to the residents of River Edge and not letting the process, which sometimes can take a while, it happens. But they dealt with it and we got through the obstacles, and that's to tribute to every officer in the department. I want to specifically thank Lieutenant Zemedy, Sergeant Griffith, and the PBA, who agreed to modify the procedure. And that's part of, the process that we had to work through, which made these promotions possible. I also want to thank Sergeant Diamond, Sergeant Preisendorf, and Sergeant Sanchez, who competed for lieutenant, but they didn't get the spot. And you can see they're here, and I think that's a testament to, they got right back in the groove. It's normal to be down if you didn't win, you didn't get the spot. But I saw nothing of that in their work ethic. They came back to work, they were right in the game, and they're doing a same great job they were doing beforehand. I want to thank the members of the council that took the time to understand. As I said, it was a bit of a lengthy process this time. We had to work through some hurdles. The explanation of the table of organization that we had gone through, and to really not only listen, but several of you met with me and asked questions to understand how important the table of organization is, which again, we've mentioned before, but historically in this department, the table of organization that we have now and the number of officers that we have now is exactly the same as the department had over 40 years ago. It's great that we're able to keep it at the level and the spot where it is. Very important to the operations of the police department. I want to thank the residents who have shown their support over basically the last 10 months or so, and always have and continue to do so. They're very sincere about it, and I want them to know that we're very sincere about our dedication and our efforts into protecting and serving the town. And that's people that have come up to us. There's people that have called me, texted me. It's just a great community. It always have been. And everybody knows I'm prejudiced to it because I love this town as much as they do. I want to thank Captain McGinty, Lieutenant Abadi, and Sergeant Blue. You guys have been basically working out a title for a bit of time as we work through the process. And you've been doing a great job at it. And, with the salary adjustment that is a bit delayed, again, something that we worked through. It takes place a month from now, and you guys haven't missed a beat. Obviously, congratulations to the three of you. You worked hard to get here.
I'm looking forward is basically, you're all part of administration or the command staff. And that's very important to me, have the right people in the right places. And you all did a great job getting to where you are. And with that, this just end with all of what I just said is all part of teamwork, which you've heard me say, and the mayor and the council have heard me say it many times. The teamwork of this police department is, I really feel, is unmatched to many departments that you'll find. We work together. I have a command staff that sits together. We discuss things, we figure things out. I have officers that discuss things, then they bring it forward. I have a PBA president and a delegate that can come talk with me and I can talk with them and we iron things out. I think that's shown that we haven't had a grievance in 5 years. And just again, the example of look at everybody that's here to support these promotions, whether they competed or not, they're still here and that's awesome. So thank you again to everybody. Thank you to everybody in the audience that showed up to support us. Thank you to the council. Thank you.
Sergeant, Lieutenant, Captain? And Chief, would it be okay to invite, well, not everybody's in uniform, but would you like to invite everybody to stand behind or just want to do?
Maybe we'll do
You can take as
The
many pictures
promotion?
as you like.
the 4 of us and then.
Yeah.
I bring the plan over. Great, you guys wanna jump up?
Guys, why don't you come up, stand behind, don't worry about where you're at. You guys move forward to the edge of the desk, you have to get that behind you and stand behind you.
Hey, any retired guys wanna jump in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, any retired
Come
people?
in if you want.
Gotta get.
Anyone?
Get them up the stairs together.
Look good. Years ago. All right,
Place to investigate.
Watch the power. Smile, everybody. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sergeant Q, if you have a chance.
Congratulations. Their compensation for that? Sure, congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Sergeant. I'm speaking over. Okay,
Gotta cover all the.
so our next order of business is the 2026 municipal budget public hearing and adoption. Just give everybody a moment.
High school graduation. Yeah, yeah.
This is Chris on.
My lip reading is not. Yes.
Yes, there is. So it's, well.
Chris is here.
Yes.
Would you do a split screen?
Yeah, he just has to turn his camera on. He's on this account.
He's on as a county.
Ah, here we go. Good. Okay. Okay, so our next order of business is the 2026 municipal budget public hearing and adoption. Resolution 26-131. Resolution to be read, to read the budget by title only. Could I have a motion and second to move Resolution 26-131?
So moved. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It is open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Council President Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallory.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dory-Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Yes.
Guys, it was very thoughtful of you to close the door, but because it's a public hearing, the door has to stay open. Thank you for being thoughtful, though. So it has been unanimously moved. So we now go to resolution 26-132, self-examination. Could I have a motion and second for resolution 26-132?
So moved.
Second.
It is open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, I call the question.
Sure, Council President Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallory,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dory-Wall.
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Yes.
Okay, at this point, we have our CFO, Mr. Chris Battaglia. Chris, if you could unmute yourself and please do an explanation to the public what we're hoping to achieve, and do a very essentially short version of the budget, just the highlights, please.
Just the highlights, Mayor. We're adopting a budget after thorough review with total appropriations of about $22.8 million. The amount in taxes that we will raise to support that budget is about $17.5 million. It's a 4.5% increase year over year. There were very few major drivers. It was almost entirely made up of medical contributions that were increased. The premiums that were increased by the state health benefit commission, and that's 61% of it right there, and then the rest of it is almost entirely contractual items. So we were able to keep it down to a total increase of $767,000 when $473,000 was medical benefits alone. And this year, that was really the summary. That was the majority of our challenge.
Excellent. Any member of council wish to make a statement about the budget either now or prior to adoption? All right, well, we'll move to the public hearing portion. Could I have a motion and second for to open on the budget only public hearing on the 2026 municipal budget? Could I have a motion and second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The public can make comments about the budget if they wish to do so at this time, but only the budget. Would you please check online? If you are remotely visiting, please raise your hand if you'd like to speak on the budget. Seeing none, could I have a motion and a second to close to the public on the public hearing on 2026 municipal budget?
So second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Could I now have a motion and second to adopt the 2026 municipal budget, resolution 26-133?
So moved. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there debate? Is any member of council wish to make a comment? Hearing none, I call the question.
Council President Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallal-Ari.
Yes.
Councilwoman Darwell,
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Yes.
All right. So we now have proclamations and award. Who is receiving the proclamation on behalf of, for today's Arbor Day? All right. Well, I'll read it into the record and then we'll present it to the Shade Tree Commission. Who is the liaison for the Shade Tree?
Lisa.
Lisa, but yes, Lisa can't be here today. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water and cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic viability of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Papaleo, Mayor of the Borough of River Edge, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the Borough of River Edge, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. So that's our proclamation. And on Friday, we'll have a planting where I believe I can make it. I will reread it. And if I cannot be there, I'm sure there are others, but I believe I can. It will be the USA 250 or the River Edge 250 day tree planting at Brookside Park. And so hope to see many of you there. All right. Presentation of insurance alternatives. Gentlemen, if you could hold for a second. Lizette, did you want to speak first?
Yes, I just wanted to give a history
Sure.
of where we stand with the insurance. And it's been very eye-opening learning about insurance, health insurance, and IRS regulations, but it all goes back as far as I've been here since the fall of 2022. When the 2023 premiums were reported that they were increasing by 22%, I requested our claims history, and it was shopped around through our risk manager with an insurance broker, with the health insurance funds that existed at the time, and directly with insurance companies. However, based on our claims experience, no other insurance entity offered the borough coverage. Fast forward a little bit to the summer of 2024. The difference card was presented to the unions, which would require everyone to move from the Direct 10 to the 2035 plan. That's a $20 copay for primary, $35 for specialists. There was no interest from the unions in proceeding with this option. However, it is important to note that while the premiums for all other medical plans increased by 36%, this year, the 2035 plan received a 54% increase due to the number of entities who had employees switch to this plan to use in conjunction with the difference card. A little more recent history, in July of 2025, I requested claims history since the original reported increase for this year was estimated to be 29%. I received the medical claims report in early August and the prescription claims report in late August. Upon receipt of each claims report, I forwarded them to the risk manager for the shopping around process. On October 16th, I received a proposal from New Jersey Solutions, which I reviewed with our CFO. And on October 20th, I met with Connor Strong to go over the proposal and steps that were required in the event the mayor and council wanted to switch. This information was presented to the employees on October 23rd, who requested that the mayor and council remain in the state health benefits program. However, if the mayor and council wanted to change and have it effective January 1st, a resolution to opt out of the state program is required, and the state had to be notified by October 31st. The state requires 60 days notice. The mayor and council decided not to switch insurance carriers. In November of 2025, a bill based on Governor Murphy's proposal that eliminated all the plans to reduce them to a direct 3550 PPO, the tiered network plan, and a high deductible plan with a health savings account was proposed, but no legislation moved forward to provide relief to schools or local entities for the 2026 increases. And most of the same bills were introduced again in January and still remain in committee. Over the past few years, the state has lowered premium increases, but for state employees only. This new year, I received a request to revisit the difference card from one group of employees. Another group requested to look into a high deductible plan, citing Butler, Glenrock, and Oradell. I hadn't heard back from Glenrock, but our Labor Council did not recommend mandating enrollment in a high deductible plan. I spoke with the Oradell administrator who said they implemented a voluntary transition to the high deductible plan. But according to the administrator, the voluntary transition is not yielding enough relief and they're looking at other options. Butler responded to me that they did implement a high deductible health plan incentive program, modeled with a health savings accounts of $2,500 for single coverage and $5,000 for spousal, parent-child, or family coverage, as well as health reimbursement arrangements, HRAs, of $3,700 for single coverage and $7,400 for spousal, parent-child, or family coverage, funded by that borough. According to the Butler's administrator, participation was not mandatory. However, it was incentivized through collective bargaining, and during negotiations, they removed the Direct 10 plan and tied salary increases to enrollment levels. If 70% of the union members enrolled in this high deductible plan, raises would be 4% annually. If the threshold was not met, the raises would be limited to 2%. And the same offer was given to the non-union employees with the same thresholds. 49 out of 50 enrolled. They haven't had any issues with HSA funding or access, but early challenges are now emerging with the HRA utilization, primarily related to employees navigating the explanation of benefits documentation and reimbursement procedures. Nevertheless, Butler's 2026 budget increase will be at 6.49%. On January 15th, since the lame duck legislative session ended without any changes to the health insurance program, I requested our risk manager to look into options based on the suggestions received from the employee groups and asked if we can engage in a shared service with another municipality. With regards to shared service, that's what the health insurance funds are for. On March 9th, I asked our risk manager if we can join the county since they are self-insured based on a recommendation from a member of our Citizens Budget Committee. The next day, I was informed that the county is not allowing any municipality to join their insurance. On March 26th, I received a proposal on combining the difference card with the high deductible plan. On March 29th, I received the current proposal from New Jersey Solutions, which would offer coverage effective July 1st without soliciting a new medical and prescription claims report. I met with the insurance representatives and the labor attorney on April 2nd. It was not recommended moving forward with the high deductible plan with difference card option because based on the mid-year analysis by the state, it appears that the high deductible plan will receive a greater increase than the rest of the plans for 2027, similar to what happened with the 2035 plans. I provided a memo for the governing body that day to review and discuss on their April 9th closed session. On April 13th, I notified employees that a presentation by a risk manager in Connor Strong, Buckaloo, regarding the potential of joining New Jersey Solutions would take place on April 17th. It was a meeting of over 2 hours that included participation by employees asking questions and stating their concerns. If the mayor and council want this change to be effective July 1st, a resolution is still required to opt out of the state program, and the state has to be notified by April 30th. So as you see, it's a very time-consuming process, and it takes time to receive information through the state and for risk managers and authorized insurance brokers to receive proposals. And as I had explained in this year's budget meeting, the state conducts its open enrollment every October in which all employees can change their plans. Currently, there are 6 PPO levels to select through either Horizon or Aetna. one HMO plan, again through Horizon or Aetna to choose from, one tiered plan through Horizon or Aetna, and two high deductible plans to select through Horizon or Aetna. The coverage levels and corresponding premium rates are single, member, spouse, parent, child, and family. It is a balancing act for employees to choose the right plan for themselves and their dependents. And based on the employee's salary, one can be paying up to 35% of the medical premium. Co-pays are a factor depending on one's health condition and frequency of medical visits. The high deductible high plan recommendation that has been mentioned does provide a premium that would be about half the cost of the New Jersey Direct 10 plan. With the Direct 10 plan, all primary and specialist co-pays are $10 with no deductible, a 10% co-insurance for select services, and total out-of-pocket maximum of $400 for individuals and $1,000 for family for in-network services. With the high deductible plan, the deductible must be met first, which is $4,150 for individuals and $8,300 for families, including eligible prescription cost share. And then all medical visits except the physical requires a 20% payment of the cost after the deductible is met. And that also applies to prescription cost share, and a total out-of-pocket maximum of $5,150 for individuals and $10,300 for family, including eligible prescription cost share. A health savings account can be tied into the high deductible plan, which can be funded by either an individual and or their employer at a maximum of $4,400 for individuals and $8,750 for family coverage. These limits are determined by the IRS and adjusted annually. The health savings account can be withdrawn to pay for qualified medical expenses, can earn interest, unused funds can be carried over annually, and the account belongs to the employee, not the employer, even if the employer is contributing to the HSA. If an employee leaves, he or she takes the health savings account with him or her. The purpose, and this was said yesterday, at the State Health Benefits Plan Design Committee meeting. The purpose of the high deductible plan is for those who could afford self-insurance and are healthier. The premium is lower because the exposure is greater to the participant. However, due to employer incentives to move to this plan, the more expensive risk pool is joining that level. The number of claims isn't changing, just which plan it is going under. And again, on yesterday's committee call, it was emphasized that the 2027 increases will have greater premium adjustment to the high deductible high plan as what had taken place with the 2035 plan. And that is the background information on this matter.
Okay, very good. So our presenters, please come forward, bring an extra chair and state your name and your role.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and members of the governing body, counselor, administrator. He's out.
While they're doing that, I just want to emphasize that it is the responsibility of the business administrator to bring before the council any proposed health benefit program that could meet the criteria of River Edge and that is being recommended by our risk manager, or at least the risk manager is not recommending it. And because of the tight deadline for July 1st, this is why we've had the compressed presentation. The council is going to hear the presentation, and then the council is going to decide whether they wish to include a resolution at the end of the presentation to that would inform the state that we would be moving. If the council chooses to do that, that would begin the 2-month time period. If the council chooses not to do that, then nothing would change and everything would remain the same.
So thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone.
Would you turn on your green light? And your green light is on.
Yeah.
As
Good evening,
if you
everyone.
could speak near the
I
mic.
know everyone here. You know me. I'm Ezio Altamura. Matt McGarrow works with me. We're from the Gem Otterstedt Insurance Agency. We are the risk managers appointed by this governing body for the borough of River Edge for the past 10 years. I have with me Scott Davenport. He is our health broker from Connor Strong and Bucklew. Lizette did an excellent job in itemizing really from start to finish of what's transpired in the past 8 months. As your risk managers and insurance brokers, just to reiterate a little bit, We knew when that increase of 36.5% was coming down January 1, back on July the 11th. On July 13th, we contacted all our public entity clients with Connor Strong and Bucklew to say, we're here to help you. We can try to look for alternatives, see how your loss experience is. And as Lizette basically enumerated, we went through the process. So this is where we're here right now. This one sheet was actually distributed at our Zoom meeting last week because we had a very robust meeting for 2 hours, and great questions were asked by the members of the employees and the unions. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Scott. He is our health broker. He is an expert in health insurance. He's been in the health insurance business as I've been in the property and casualty for over 30 years. He can answer questions and will field any questions that anyone has.
Great. Thank you, Ezio. Good evening. And I really want to commend the administrator. That's probably the most thorough explanation I've heard about how this has gone for the last few years. So
Scott.
yeah, very, very good. So we're really at a point where obviously the state health benefit plan has been around for a long time. People are comfortable with it, and obviously remaining there is an option. However, the financial status of the state health benefit plan, it's actually not treading water, it's actually getting worse. And as the administrator mentioned, there was a plan design committee call earlier this week where the state's consultant, Aon, gave an update on how things are running. And I would say in 2026, we've seen the most number of entities exit the state plan than we've ever seen before, probably the last 10 years combined. It's only increasing. We have multiple groups leaving June, July, maybe even further than that. So the opportunity to get out of the state plan is here, and we have that chance to do that. I don't want to speculate too much because that's never a good thing. But when we look at the financials and look at what the state's consultant, Aon, has said, just a few things I might highlight. At the end of this year, they were expecting to have 2 months of cash on hand to pay claims in reserve, which makes the plan sound financially. They're predicting that they're going to have minus 1.5 months of cash. The difference between minus 1.5 months and a positive 2 months is 26% of the premium. So right off the bat, that they're short 26%. Then you look at medical inflation, or trend is the term that gets used in our industry. Medical trend is about 10%. Pharmacy trend is about 20%. And when you look at trend, you're not looking at a 12-month period. You look at a longer period because of the time a claim is incurred before it gets to be presented. It tends to run about an 18-month cycle. So an annual trend of 10 over 18 months is really about 15. And then you look at the fact that the state government plan has loaned the local government plan $200 million, and that still has not been accounted for. So when we start adding these things up, we're expecting potentially, and I don't know this to be a fact, so I want to be careful what I say, but we're actually expecting an increase worse than what we saw for January of 26. That doesn't mean that's going to happen, but if you just follow the financials and look at the reports, and the reports I'm referring to are available on the state's website. So this is not myself or the administrator or anyone making up information. It's actually published by the state's consultant. It's available online. And, basically the term we would use is this plan is in a death spiral. We don't know whether it's going to be in existence beyond a year or two. We don't know if the state's going to come in and come to the rescue. It doesn't seem likely based on the amount of money that would be involved. So we do have an opportunity to exit. There are lots of public entity clients that unfortunately are not going to have that option, and they're going to have to remain in the state because it would cost them more to get out. we actually do, probably for the first time ever in my 36 plus years of doing this, have clients that have said to us, if we have to pay a little bit more to get out now, it makes sense because of what is coming down the road. And I'm not suggesting that you do that here, because we obviously have a chance to save some premium dollars. About 6.5% roughly is what we could save over the current 2026 state rates. So I do know that the high deductible plan has been very popular. We have clients that have done it. So they've, what we've done with the state health benefit plan, we've known for some time that some of the pricing models that they use between their plans don't make sense, but the state sets the rates and we play by their rules. And we've been able to help a number of our clients. First, it was with the 2035 card, with the difference card, and then with the high deductible plan, either with an HRA or an HSA. But it's very clear, again, from those reports that they're going to correct those issues in the 2027 renewal. And like the administrator said, the high deductible health plan is about a 50% savings compared to Direct 10. I don't know the specific number because it has not been announced yet, but I would suspect that number is going to get cut in half. So if you're looking at a 25% savings and looking at the size of those deductibles that the high deductible health plan has, most likely that's going to be a much less appealing alternative. So, and actually in the quote that we got from NJ Solutions for that same high deductible health plan, that 50% savings didn't exist because the actuaries for NJ Solutions and for any HIF, quite frankly, they know that 50% isn't really accurate. So they're not going to certify that rate. So that really is not an option going forward. So our suggestion would be to move to the NJ Solutions HIF July 1st. The benefits have been guaranteed to be equal to or better than. One of the nice things about that particular fund is they utilize Horizon Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So we don't have any concerns about any provider disruption. So any provider that any employee uses today that participates with the Horizon, it's the same exact network, same plan designs, that's guaranteed in writing. And it's an opportunity to reduce our cost. And I think more importantly, in 2027, again, we don't know the final numbers, but I would expect any renewal that we would have from the health insurance fund would probably be half of what it would be as compared to remaining in the state. So I know that a lot of this was covered by the administrator, who did a fantastic job going through the timeline of the state and some of the things that drive us crazy, where they take 60 days to give you your claims experience. They make you pay for it. And they want 60 days notice to leave. So they don't make it easy. It's a challenge and it's a lengthy process. But at the end of the day, we have an opportunity to move and not have to go through that process again. Because if we don't take advantage of this now, we'd have to start over. We'd have to request our claims again. We start that first 60-day window. And the clock would start over again for January. And the risk we'd be taking is we don't know what our claims, how much they've changed, because we have data through June. So that data is starting to get a little old. And fortunately, we were able to not have any change in our numbers if we make the change for July 1st. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So I want to thank you for your presentation. We're going to open to the council in just a moment. I don't know how many of the council were able to either be part of or watch the presentation that happened last week. I'd like to say that the business administrator informed me of this option about 2.5 weeks ago. And I had said that we want to make sure that we organize a meeting that with all those with our employees, so that they can ask questions. That was the meeting that happened last week. I was out of state. I also did listen into the State Health Benefit Plan Design Committee meeting. And what I heard is what was reported. I also directed the business administrator to make sure that that link was sent to all of the employees. And I believe that some of them were able to attend. So at this point, I don't need to ask questions. I think there's been a thorough presentation. I think the council needs to ask questions as they see fit or make comments as they see fit. Where will this go? Just to reiterate, if the council feels that this is not the time, or it's it's too compressed a time for us to move forward, then the council would simply not take any action at the end of this, and no resolution would be added to the agenda. If the council feels that it is time, then I would ask for a motion second, and the council would then take a vote on whether to put the resolution on the agenda, and then, of course, there'd be another vote when it comes to the resolution. And there was one other thing I had to say. Give me a moment. I absolutely understand the employees' concerns about the compressed 2 weeks. I would like to say that it would have been better if we had more time. And I'm sure the council is going to consider that in their deliberation. I also asked, the PBA offered, but I also directed the administrator to poll to the best of their ability, or to encourage to the best of their ability, the DPW and the non-contractual to offer their thoughts. That was shared with the council. I should say, I don't wish to represent anyone's position, but the PBA, the DPW, and the non-contractuals feel that this is not the time for us to move, and the council should consider that too. So any member of council would like to ask a question of our professionals?
Mayor, I don't have a question, but I have a comment, but I will wait until everybody asks their questions first until to the very end to make my comments.
Sure.
That's okay.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just have one question, but I do want to preface it with a comment, and that is just to thank our borough administrator for doing an outstanding job of research. And this is on top of everything else that she has to do with her very busy responsibilities and her very busy job. However this goes, I think that everyone should appreciate that the borough administrator, basically had to become an instant expert on insurance. And,
Thanks.
as I think our real experts can testify, you can spend 20 years in the insurance business and it's still a learning process. So, so thank you for that. It's also a big help to all of us because we're trying to digest this information also. And so my question is just based on, and by the way, thank you. I did get a chance to watch the video. I wasn't able to attend the meeting, but I did watch the video of the meeting, and I thought all the presentations and all the comments and all the questions were excellent and very helpful. So appreciate that. My question was on something that you said just today, and that is that you mentioned that you do have clients who have chosen the HD model. And I'm just wondering if you can expand on that a little bit in terms of where those municipalities are, why they chose that model. Did any of them choose that model over NJ Solutions? Just a little more information on that would be helpful.
Sure. So we have clients all throughout the state. A number of them started with the 2035 plan back in 2024 and took advantage because that plan design compared to Direct 10, it's a much simpler way of doing things. And as the administrator mentioned, one of the towns that you would talk to, there were issues with the explanation of benefits form. So with the 2035 plan, there's not as much work on the employee's part because it's just basically swiping your card for most things that are covered with a copay. But the state recognized the rating differential, which was about 24% between the 2035 plan and the Direct 10 plan at the time, was creating an adverse position for the state. which is why the 2035 plan received a 55% increase last year. And because of that, other options started to be looked at. And the next biggest pricing differential where you can make the math work was on the high deductible high option. So there were two ways to go about the high deductible health plan option. You could do an HRA, which is employer funded, and you could also do the high deductible plan with an HSA. Very few do both. It's typically one or the other. And the reason that works is because there's currently about a 50% difference in premium between the cost of Direct 10 and the high deductible health plan. So there's lots of savings to benefit both the employee and the employer, even with incurring that much higher deductible. The deductible for family in 2026 is $8,400. And the out-of-pocket max is either $10,400 or $12,400, depending on whether you're in network or out of network. So it's much higher than the $1,000, let's say, per family under Direct 10. So because the math worked, that's why a lot of other public entities moved to that plan. And if the state was going to continue that relationship differential, that would still be a viable option. But several times when the consultant Aon reported to the State Health Benefit Commission, it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I believe, and then earlier this week when they met with the Plan Design Committee, and it's actually in their reports, they referenced the fact that they have to address that problem because it's not working. They're losing money because the whole premise of how they develop their rates is not working. So again, we don't know the specific number. And just to, this is kind of what the report looks like. So this is what's available online. Aon is the state's consultant, and you can look that up and look through it. But we do at Connor Strong, we do have licensed actuaries that work for us. And actually one of them used to work for Aon and used to work on the state plan. So very familiar with how things work. So I had recently talked with him about what we think is going to happen to that rate differential. And again, I don't know, and we won't know until July when they announce it, but we expect that to go from about 50% to about 25%. So we expect it to be cut in half. So when you look at a $68,000 premium for family and then 34, it's no longer going to be 34. It might be 50, let's say. That's about a number in the middle. So when you start doing those calculations of funding that significant out-of-pocket max, the math isn't going to work because there's not enough savings to fuel paying those additional expenses because of the deductible and saving money. That's why that is not going to be a feasible alternative in 2027 if the state follows through on what they've said several times and put in writing that they're going to do. If they maintain the 50%, then you can unwind everything I just said, and it would be a viable alternative. And a lot of groups that did this, it's a 1 year savings. And I understand why an employer would do this. We're trying to stay a step ahead and trying to save money. You have to do this because of what the increases are and the havoc that it wreaks on your budget. I mean, you have no choice. But the state is in the process of closing that loophole. We have one client that did the tiered network option, commonly known as Omnia. And we did go to the state last year for approval to put in the difference card with Omnia, and they would not allow it. I'm not sure why. I sent them plenty of information from the federal government how that would work, but the state declined to allow that. So they only allow it with the high deductible health plan or the 2035 plan. So the there are no other plans left. And the state did make some changes to the state government plan that are starting in July. Those same options are available to local government starting in July for any employee that has a lifestyle event change, or if you hire a new employee, there'll be additional options that are available in the normal October open enrollment timeframe. Those plan designs are pretty drastically different, and they save about 2.2% on the premium. So I don't know why any employee would change their benefits drastically to save basically nothing. So that's not going to help either. So, you know, having a way to exit that seems to be the best strategy. And then, you know, you go from there. But unless something dramatic happens, the state plan it's not going to recover, is my personal opinion.
So thank you for that. So just a quick follow-up.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. So the structure that exists presently could change dramatically in July. We just don't know. If it does change dramatically, then the high deductible option is not really realistic or practical. If it doesn't change, then we unwind everything you just said, and it becomes a viable option. But there's no way to know until after July 1st. Is that right?
Yeah, when the state meets in July, when they introduce the rates for 2027, that's when we'll know. But they've put it in writing twice, and they've said it in 2 different meetings that they are going to do it. So I'm taking them at their word that they're going to address the rating differential, because it's only accelerating their problem. It's causing the losses to be greater than they expected them to be.
So when you say they're going to do it, what does that mean? They're going to make some change, but we don't know what change?
Right. So as an example, if all the plans go up 40%, they could say the high deductible plan, it's going to go up 60%. So you shrink that 50% difference between Direct 10 and the high deductible health plan, and the smaller that gap is, the less viable it is for the math to work for the employee to benefit and the employer to benefit. I mean, that's why these plans have come about, because there's a mutual benefit because of the cost.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Any other member of council would like to ask a question? Thank you, Councilman Pfeffer.
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Sure.
I think it's important for the governing body to know that Scott's mentioned this in the meeting last week, and with many of our clients, the state health benefits plan, the rates are derived by the way they figure them out. They really don't have the same actuarial experience as these health insurance funds have. So the rate in Salem County, some municipal government there, is the same rate as in River Edge. So the rates go across the board. The New Jersey Solutions Health Insurance Fund, the actuaries promulgated the rate based on River Edge's experience. So that 6.5%, 8%, 6.5% savings is your rate. Your rate's different than if Oradell applies and gets accepted. Actuaries actually look at health insurance funds and say, this is what we need to charge because this is what we think the experience is going to look like. Based on past experience, this is what it's going to look like moving forward. And then they get adjusted every year for the new year. They're on an annual basis. The state health benefits just has this big pool of every state employee. Of course, there's the state employees, there's the municipal, and then there's the school boards. They just look at it and say, everybody's going up at this number. So there's sound underwriting and actuarial experience in health insurance funds, where at the state level, it's different. And Scott, that's fairly...
Yes. Yeah, the state takes all comers, where health insurance funds or the commercial market, they don't accept everybody. They're going to underwrite you and look at your risk.
I did not know that.
And that's no different than we're in the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund.
Yeah.
That's a pool started 40 years ago. We have in the MEL system, we have out of 70 Bergen County towns. In our different pools, we have, I think, about 65 out of the 70 towns. So we don't leave it once we join unless there's a better alternative. And I risk manage with many different funds I work with. And the reasons I can't get out of some of the funds is because of claims experience on the property and casualty side. So we take that rate for the 38 members in the Bergen JIF. We look at it, they strike a budget. Lizette is one of the fund commissioners. The actuaries come in, they say, this is what we think we need this kind of an increase. And then it's usually shared amongst the 38 members. If someone has very bad experience, they may go up 3%, and the other one may go up only 2%, but it's a pooled fund based on sound actuarial underwriting. That's how the health insurance fund works the same way, unlike the state.
All right. So actually, I do have a question now that, thank you, Councilman, because those questions actually illuminated. So if the council chose to take no action tonight and we waited till the July meeting, what then would be the option for the employees and the borough and the people of River Edge?
So we would have to request our claims experience again and basically start over. So the borough would send a letter to the state along with a check for $2,000 and request your claims experience. They'll give you the most recent 24 months. And that information we go through the same process. The state would provide the medical claims and the prescription claims.
And that's essentially our history,
Yes,
not the history of anybody else.
just your history.
Okay.
And then we would submit that to the insurance market, just like we did last time, whether it's the BMed, whether it's NJ Solutions, wherever it is, and seek competitive proposals. And the outcomes could be no one is willing to write us because our claims have changed since June of last year.
Okay.
We could get a proposal of a similar relationship to the numbers we have now. It could be better, it could be worse, but the biggest concern is because we don't know what's happened. There could be a couple of employees that are dependents that go on a specialty medication and they may be totally fine, but that medication is required and it could cost $150,000, $200,000 a year. It doesn't take very many of those to have a significant impact on your loss ratio, which would make you less desirable to a health insurance fund or to the commercial market. So there's a very real chance that we would be stuck in the state regardless of what their increase is. And again, based on everything that's been publicly released, we expect a significant rate increase for 2027.
Okay, so you're saying there's basically a gamble, but if the gamble is not, if it doesn't prove to be a fatal gamble, then we could ask for, we could put out to the market, and the market could come back with offers. And if the market came back with offers, how much time would we have to either accept them or reject them? And would that then be a January 1st deadline?
So the next date would be January 1st. And so what we like to have claims experience through June. So in order to get that data, we typically
so we couldn't say the council chose to take no action tonight. We couldn't simply tomorrow send them a check for $2,000 and then begin to get ahead of the process.
I mean, you could, but what I would suggest is because an underwriter will only go out so far with the data. So they're going to want for a January effective date, because we'd be starting over, they're going to want claims through June. And
But we couldn't do like a September effective date or
you could, but if we started today, we've got to go 60 days for the state to give us the information. And then it's a 3 to 4 week turnaround time to get the proposals. And then you review them. And then you have to give the state 60 days notice if you're going to leave. So that's a minimum of 5, more like 6 months. So probably the earliest we could go would be probably November
1st. Okay. Something for the council to consider.
And then what would happen is that with most funds, because they run on a calendar year basis, they would give you a rate for 2 months. And then whatever that fund renews in January, you'd have a 12-month renewal at whatever that fund's renewal was.
Yeah, but I think everybody expects that. I get that. Yeah. But it's good to say it because maybe not everybody understands that. Okay, so we've heard the testimony. We got the comments. Yeah, no, I'm gonna come to you in a second. So we've heard the testimony. The council is received documentation on this. And the council has also, we've made a good faith effort to inform the employees. We have 45 employees who accept insurance. The PBA is about a third. The DPW is about a third, correct? 14 for the PBA,
12 for DPW,
12 for DPW,
17 non-represented, and 2 library.
2 library. So this is who we're considering staying or leaving the state health benefits for. So I just want to kind of like summarize that. I think we also got from or pretty much all the 45 employees their opinion about what they would like for us to do on their behalf. And that's also something for us to consider. So comments.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a few comments. One, thanking our BA, Lizette Arbitella, for the history that she just explained to everyone. And the idea of switching, it's been inferred that the idea of switching health providers or health insurance has been sprung on the employees is a little bit misleading. When the state insurance rates began to balloon from municipalities in the last few years, RBA has been looking into alternative plans. Last year, NJ Solutions was discussed and employees were notified about this possible alternative. All borough employees asked the mayor and council not to switch carriers because this group was too new to the market to switch, and there was the promise of relief from Trenton, which did not happen. Again, this past year, River Edge budget was hit with a cost of $473,000 for employee health insurance. This prompted another round of shopping for our RBA for possible alternatives, which was mentioned in the budget meetings. The shopping must be done through Risk Manager using an insurance broker due to the complexity of medical insurance as per the New Jersey State Controller. The State Controller recommends letting insurance brokers do what they do best, evaluate the quality and cost of insurance. As we know, getting information from the state takes some time. Our BA received the proposal that is being discussed just 3 weeks ago. New Jersey Solutions are here to present a viable alternative for the mayor and council to consider without the need to solicit claims history at this time. Just on a note, furthermore, like when my law firm changes insurance companies, I don't get a say. They don't ask me what I think. As I'm sure many in the corporate or public sector can attest to. I could not attend the April 17th presentation, but watched it after the fact. The State Treasurer's Office released a report dated May 19th, 2025, which was mentioned during the presentation called Structural and Financial Challenges in the State Health Benefits Program for Local Government, Executive Summary. I would like to read into the record part of the conclusion to the report. The SHBP local government program has reached an inflection point. What began as a commitment to offer affordable, high-quality coverage to public employees has become structurally unstable, driven by adverse selection, diminished participation, and cost escalation. The plan's very high actuarial values, a depleted claims stabilization reserve, and a static governance model have created a self-reinforcing loop of premium increases and employer exits, what actuaries commonly refer to as a death spiral. Sorry, just came out. Local governments and state employees do not know what the rate will be in 2027, but we can surmise it will be equal to or better than last year's increase. Earlier this week, the state treasurer testified that based on the plan actuaries' mid-year reports and SHBP local government fund levels, it is possible that rate increases could be as high as the rate increases we experienced last year. And in summary of the report, premiums are for 2027 could be just under 40%, in 2028, 50%, and in 2029, 60%. With that said, the mayor and council, can I say what I think we should do or wait?
You can,
Okay,
because we're still in debate,
okay,
but this is part of debate.
Okay.
So you're
I'm okay with,
you're
okay.
doing what you're supposed to do.
Okay, with that said, the mayor and council hear our employees and their concerns. I believe at this time, our best course of action for all involved would be to wait until we get the final numbers from the state, but preemptively request another round of the claims reports and shop around if needed. Even under this scenario, since receipt of the claims reports already takes 60 days, the soonest we can expect to receive any proposals to consider would be late September to early October. And we will need to make a decision by October 31st. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any comments?
I'm
Any
just
debate?
gonna be giving Indira that we should wait till the state comes up with the new rate or the new program, whatever they're doing in July. And then we'll take it from there.
Any thoughts, any comments?
Is that a motion?
It can be.
Do you want to?
Well, it doesn't need to be a motion because we only need a motion if you would like to move for us to inform the state that we're leaving now. If you're thinking to wait, then no motion and you just simply say, I agree or disagree to whatever degree, because that's this type of informal setting.
And then no vote would be taken.
No vote would be taken.
Well, then my comment is I agree. We should gather more claims history and take an actual vote on this later in the year.
Yourself?
I agree too.
I think that's the prudent course too. But I do want to emphasize the fact that that our BA has done a phenomenal job, that she was obligated to bring forward to the council and to the employees the information she only received 3 weeks ago. And that will now, I think it makes sense to wait. We'll wait until July. We will have to decide whether we want to wait till July to get the new claims history, or we want to do that now. You're saying that we should wait to, your recommendation is not to get the claims history right now?
If we're looking to move January 1st, my recommendation would be to wait until we can get data through June, which would mean we'd request a letter around July 22nd.
Is there a benefit to us by trying to look to move in November if we get a bad report in July?
You'd save 2 months, potentially you'd save 2 months of the current year's increase. So that if, assuming the numbers were the same, we'd save that 6.5% for the last 2 months of the year versus 6 months of the year. So there could be some value in that. So if you want to do it now, that's totally fine. There's actually been a change to the procedure, but we can get a form letter with the changes to the administrator, by Monday at the latest, so that we can get started.
So it's the will of the council, and I agree with it that we are going to wait. Do we wish to wait? Do we want to try to move for a November change, or do we want to wait to January change? And if we want to wait January change, then we can wait until July to ask for a report. If we want to try to do a November change, we would need to ask for a report next week, right? What is the will of the council on this? What are your thoughts? Let's discuss that. Or do we need more time to think about it?
I mean, from what I said, I think that we see what the rate is from the state and make that decision then, because the state is not, it doesn't seem like it's going down 30, to 20%. It's
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah.
And we can make that educated guess.
Okay. Let me ask you guys this. If we wait till July for a January 1st change, if that's needed, then and we got a proposal. That proposal will be from an insurance fund that wants to start in January 1st, so we would know their increase.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So, any other questions from our professionals?
Mayor, I just want to state one other thing. I was just saying to Scott. He also shopped it with another health insurance fund, which we got declined. That's the BMed
Yeah.
here in Bergen. So they wouldn't take us, the NJ Solutions did.
Can you comment on why you think, did they give us any reason?
Well, the BMed's underwriting criteria is a little different where they tend to be more conservative with smaller employers where the NJ Solutions doesn't apply the same factors. So you're a better fit for NJ Solutions because of how their underwriting works.
Okay.
It's a little bit different.
So is there criteria that they used? The BMed said that they weren't going to offer us anything, and NJ Solutions said, this is a plan we could offer you.
Correct.
At this cost.
At this cost. Okay. All right, gentlemen, anybody have a further question? Thank you very, very much for your
Thank you.
professionalism, your time, and for answering our questions so clearly, because I'm sure this is far more complicated than, and we really appreciate it.
We're here to help you, Mayor, and
Absolutely.
governing body, whatever we can do.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you.
So just to reiterate, we will not be moving a resolution onto the agenda to change our insurance that we were remaining currently where we are. We are going to be waiting for the July report from State Health Benefits. And at that point, we will reevaluate. We are always open to ideas, but this seems currently to be the best idea for moving forward.
I just want to add, since this is a year where we would have to pay, I did reach out to Horizon just in case and asked, do we have to send a letter to the state and wait to receive like a copy of a canceled check before you could do anything? Because I don't want any delays that could put us in tighter time crunches out of our control. And my contact at Horizon said that when we send the information to the state with the check, just send a copy and they'll start working on it while they wait for snail mail and bank.
That sounds very efficient. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the state wants the money this time around before they start doing the work.
Always, I get it. All right, guys, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
council members.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point, we're going to open for any comment at all, whether it's on the agenda or not. We only have one comment period open since January 1st. Could I have a motion and second to open to the public?
So move.
Second.
Any member of the public who'd like to make a comment, both virtually or in person, please come forward now, state your name. If you are in law enforcement or in justice, you do not need to give your address. If you are, then you do need to give your address. Come on. Is the green light on?
No. No.
Matt Peterski, with the River Edge PBA.
Sure.
I just want to say thank you to the mayor and council for your consideration and listening to the employees and taking their thoughts into consideration. And we hope to continue to have a seat at the table with this discussion.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any other member in the chambers? Any member in the virtual? Please raise your hand if you would like to speak. See, it doesn't, yeah, it shows up. Seeing none, could I have a motion and second to close the public for comments?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we now move to, there's a report for fire prevention for April, take care, guys. April 15, 2026, that is available to the public. Please see the clerk. There are resolutions 26-134 through 26-140. We will read 140 into the record. We will not be reading the others into the record, and we do so only for transparency's sake. Is there any member of council wishes to ask a question before we move them or to ask for a separate vote on any of them? Seeing none, could I have a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It is open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, would we please read 26-140 simply for transparency's sake, though we are moving all of the resolutions?
Thank you, Mayor.
Nope. Yep.
At a regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on April 23rd, 2026. Be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge approve the following expenditures. Current fund, $2,543,349.36. General Capital Fund, $117,572.46. Grant Fund, $4,974.40. Animal Control, $55.80. Trust Other, $34,789.50. Developers Escrow, $426.25. Self-Insurance Fund, Self-Insurance Trust, $13,397.57. Recreation Trust, $6,884.19.
Okay, could, Madam Clerk, it's been moved and seconded.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, it hasn't been moved and seconded. I thought we did. Could I have a motion second to move 26-134 through 26-140?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen? I'm sorry. Council President Catella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallory?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dariwal?
Yes, but I want to recuse myself from all the bills and refunds pertaining to Recreation Department. Thank you.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Yes.
All right, is there any new business for the council to consider?
I have the administrator's report.
Yes, let's, that's actually old business, so
Okay.
any new business? So we're gonna roll into old business, the administrator's report. Thank you. There's a lot of good things to report.
Yes.
Lots of good things to report. I hope people stayed for this. This is really great.
Yes.
Totally clear.
No, I should say, I hope people take the time to stay until the end, because people prefer to watch it on
Yeah,
their own, at
that's
their own
true.
speed. Yeah,
Okay,
the beauty
But-
of YouTube.
but I'll be brief. I'm pleased to report we had our annual safety incentive award, and that is every municipality accumulates points quarterly. It involves quarterly safety committee meetings with our risk manager, so much trainings on anything and everything. And this doesn't even include the cyber training that I harass you all on. A lot, DPW takes an insane amount of training, law enforcement, our firefighters, our regular white collar staff, we take safety training. There are job observation reports, there are inspections of facilities and parks. And this year, we got platinum, we got the highest award. Last year we had silver, so we bypassed gold and went straight to platinum. And it's, it's kudos to all the staff, our risk manager, our DPW superintendent, he's our safety coordinator, his admin, Miriam, in addition to running the senior bus program, she helps call all the information that DPW does, which is a significant balance of the training. Our deputy clerk that runs the motor vehicle checks and submits these reports quarterly. And I warned everybody, I am a very sore loser. I'm very competitive and we have to win big and we did. So a big round of applause to all of our employees.
And a round of applause to our business administrator who led that effort and sits on the GIF board, so. So this is
job,
for her
everyone.
and for all those who work to make River Edge safe for our employees, safe for our public.
Yes. KBG, I have an update. So, significant process as the weather turned and then turned back and then turned on and off, has been made. Turf installation was completed the last week of March. Final grading of the field was completed in early April, followed by installation of sod during the second week of April. Acrylic coating of the pickleball courts has also been completed. The batting cage installation is complete. The irrigation system has been installed, tested, and is fully operational with only minor head adjustments remaining. Electrical work for the scoreboard has been completed as well with final testing. Softball field clay installation is being finalized today and it's expected to be completed by tomorrow. Fence padding installation is currently in progress and is anticipated to be early completed early next week. The dugouts are expected to be delivered toward the end of next week, with installation anticipated to take approximately 3 days. So the construction activities have progressed well and are aligned with the project schedule of May 1st. However, between the borough engineer, the contractor, DPW superintendent, and recreation director, they had been meeting to discuss field readiness. And based on these discussions, it has been determined that the newly installed grass area should be allowed to properly take root and establish. This includes time for settling, growth, application of treatments, and at least 2 mowing cycles prior to use. So it's recommended that the grass field area be deferred until the end of May or June 1st to ensure long-term durability and optimal performance of the field, and not having to close it at the end of the year, and go through this process again. So the project is on schedule to be completed May 1st. However, we need to, because of the weather and the delay to impacting the installation of sod, just everyone be patient, a few more weeks, and then it will be fully open for June 1st, if not earlier, but we have to give it proper time.
Question?
Yes.
Pickleball?
It's still an active construction site, so for safety purposes, it's just wait. It's going to rain the next couple of weeks, so you're not missing out on anything.
Now, we should also report that we're waiting on PSE&G about their plans for, and we're working at trying to discuss with PSE&G and others about their plans, because our milling and paving is dependent upon what they are or aren't going to do.
Yes.
I believe they only did phase 2A and 2B.
No, they only did 2A.
They only did 2A and they promised to do A, B, C, and D for last year, and they only did A. And right now they're not giving us a good sense of them even finishing phase 2. And that has a huge effect on our residents. And I want to say to our residents, this is not fair, that PSE&G is not keeping their commitments to us and holding up road repair and repavement. But we are working on it. We are discussing with the people we need to discuss with, and I'm working with the business administrators, and if necessary, we'll be working with others too.
Yes. But on the other utility side, Veolia, they started their water main replacement along Madison Avenue and Center Avenue to correct low flow situations. They started actually this week. The main installation will take place tomorrow, and it's about a 30-day project, but it is moving along on schedule. And that's it for my report.
Yes, excellent. Any member of council wish to ask a question about the report? All right. Any other old business? We have River Edge Day.
River Edge Run
River Edge Run.
on Saturday.
Yes. Do we want council comments? Do we want to talk about that at all?
I just hope everybody signed up. I'm going to sign up tomorrow. Yes, it is rain or shine. And unfortunately, it's
It's raining.
projected for rain, but I'll be there anyway. Our rec department has everything organized. We're gonna do the I believe it's 9:30 for the 1 mile fun run, and then at 10 is the 5K, and then 10:05 is the walk.
Okay.
So hope to see everyone there, and I'm sure Preeti, you would like to see everybody in their costumes.
Yeah, some of the people have signed up for historic costume contest during the fun run.
Okay.
Hopefully the rain holds off till 10 or 10:30. Otherwise, ponchos
It's
and run.
rain or shine.
and rain. Yeah, it's rain or shine.
Yeah.
You can dress as a scuba diver
Scuba dive.
Oh, yeah.
and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anything else? Either old business or council comments?
I just have a comment to say thank you to our board administrator for work and all the emails, sending and all the information back and forth. Appreciate it, and I know it's a lot, so thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. Here. Anything else? All right, We have a closed session, resolution 26-141, resolution going to closed session, exclude the public. Attorney-client privilege, NJSA 10:4-12B7, subcommittee recommendations on RFQ. Could I have a motion and second to approve resolution 26-141? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Could I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting for until May?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. We're gonna